all here today is because we want you all to follow these rules and expectations, to make sure that you're being respectful and most importantly that you're being safe.
Today, right here, we're going to talk about our lunchroom rules, okay? Some of them you know, some of them you might know, some of them you might need to be reminded of. Number one, when you're in the lunchroom and a teacher is talking, show me what level you should be at. 0. Excellent job. Otherwise, when you're in the lunchroom, let's go guys. Otherwise, when you're in the lunchroom, it is okay to be at a level 2. Raise your hand and tell me what level 2 means. Go ahead. Tabletop? Tabletop. Very good. But right now, as I'm talking, I need you at a level 0. All right. Number one, when you are eating lunch in here, where should you be? At a table. How should you be at that table? Am I standing at the table? Am I kneeling at the table? On your bottoms, right? So everybody should be on your bottoms at the table, okay? That keeps it safe for you, and it keeps it safe for everybody else. Where should our feet be at the table? Under the table. So our feet should always be under the table as we eat. Why do we want our feet under the table? Not only can people step on them, turn your feet around. Not only can people step on them, but people can trip on them. Okay? And that's a big deal. If I'm carrying a tray, Mrs. Craver's carrying a tray, and she trips, where is that tray going? All over. So make sure, not only for your safety, but for other people's safety, your feet need to stay where? Where? Excellent. When we're in gym, we're running around, we're playing games, we're running all the time. But when the tables are down, it turns us into a lunchroom. How do we move about a lunchroom? We walk. We walk everywhere in a lunchroom. Number one, because you're carrying a tray. We don't want that tray going everywhere. If you run with that tray, it's going to fall all over the place. Number two, if we're in a lunchroom, oftentimes water spills on the floor. If I'm walking on a wet spot, or if I'm moving on a wet spot, should I be walking or should I be running?
Walk.
Walking is much safer. If I'm running, I'm going to slip. If I'm walking, I am far more in control. So when it's a lunchroom, when the tables are down, we are walking. We don't throw food. We know that. You should know that. Keep the food that you have on your tray to yourself and don't move it to any place else. Number two, all of you are very nice people. We know that you like to share things, toys, pencils, erasers, papers. You share everything all day. But in the lunchroom, we don't really like to allow sharing. Why would that be? Why don't we want to allow sharing? Good. There are allergies that people have that we don't know about, right? If I come to school, maybe I have an allergy. Maybe I have a peanut allergy, and I don't really know it, right? But your peanut butter sandwich looks good, and I think it's almond butter, and I want it. And I say, please have a bite of your sandwich. And that's not going to work out well for me. So we don't want to share food at all because people can get very sick from it. Okay? Although we know that you like to share, it is a very kind and friendly thing to do. We can't allow it at school simply because we don't know if it can make people sick or not. When you get your lunches, when you're in the line, when the people are working for you, how should you treat them? nicely. What is the one thing you can say to them to treat them nicely? Please and thank you. They will give you your food regardless of that, but it is the sweetest, nicest, most kind thing to do to say please and thank you at all times. Okay? Always remember that. If they are providing you a service, if they're giving you something, say thank you. Say please. Say may I. Okay? Those are really great things to remember. When you're in line out there, it gets a little crazy. You run around, everyone tends to grab on each other, people are pushing in line. We don't want that. Number one, in the line waiting for our lunch, we want our volume at a level 2. Okay, that's tabletop. That's pretty forgiving out there. Okay, you can talk at level 2 out there, but you must keep your hands to yourself. Okay, no grabbing, no pushing. Everyone's going to get a lunch. You don't need to worry about being first in line. You don't need to worry about being last in line. Both of you are going to get the exact same thing. Okay? So take it easy out there. When you're walking with your tray, why do I want to keep 2 hands on my tray? Why is this a bad idea? Good. I may drop my tray, or I might start talking to Mrs. Cranford over here and not pay attention, and my tray fall apart. Okay? And then we got to clean that up. So, if you are in line, or I'm sorry, if you have a tray, make sure you have 2 hands on that tray at all times. First grade. When you are throwing your garbage away, you need to wait until you're dismissed to do so. If you have a big mess, you can ask a supervisor if you can throw something away, but for the most part, stay in your seat until a supervisor allows you to throw yourself away. Second grade, you are able to choose your seat and stay in it, correct? We encourage that. We like that. But that's also a privilege. It is something that can be taken away. So with your behavior, you need to make sure you're maintaining a good level of voice. You need to make sure you're following all the rules so you can keep that as a privilege. When you throw your food away, are you allowed to just throw it away? Or do you need to wait till you're dismissed? Until your table is dismissed? So the same rules, right? So make sure you have all your stuff gathered up. If it's a big, big mess, ask your supervisor if you can take care of it so it doesn't get anybody else messy. But otherwise, wait until your table is dismissed before you throw away your garbage. How's that sound? Pretty good?